Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about pure competition in the short run. The characteristics we actually compared in types of market, same four characteristics we need to consider. One is there are a lot of firms. When you have a lot of firms, the product is most likely homogeneous. That means you're not selling anything differentiated. The firm doesn't have any control on the price. That's where we call these firms as price takers. And the last one is entry of new firms is easy, not blocked. Anybody wants to enter into this market, they can easily enter into it. Next thing that we want to look at is in terms of revenue. Okay, so how the revenue being calculated when the price is fixed. So in general, the calculation of revenue depends on which type of revenue you are looking at. If you look at total revenue is simply price times quantity. So quantity is given, price is given here $10. That means here you don't have revenue. So price of 10 times 1, you will get $10 of revenue. 10 times 2, you will get 20, and so on. Okay, so marginal revenue is extra revenue, which is basically change in total revenue over change in quantity. It means every time you're producing one more unit of output, how much is the extra revenue? So here you can see extra is 10, going from here to here, again extra is 10, and move further, you will see extra is 10. Doesn't matter how many units you produce, in pure competition, extra revenue is always going to be same, which is equal to basically price. Average revenue is basically total revenue over quantity. This one, as you can see, this is first one is 10 over 1, 10, 20 over 2, 10, 30 over 3, again 10. That means no matter how much output you produce, you're always going to receive an average revenue of $10, which is equal to price. Now let's show this one in terms of graphs. Okay, that means on the quantity, I'm taking on the horizontal axis, and on the vertical axis, price and revenue. So since marginal revenue and average revenue are exactly same, they both represent the price, which is nothing but the demand faced by the firm, whereas total revenue is always going to be upward sloping. So some conclusions about pure competition revenue in total revenue is increasing, upward sloping linear curve, whereas marginal revenue is fixed, which is a horizontal curve. Average revenue is also fixed, which is equal to price and horizontal line. Both average and marginal revenue, both of them will be equal to price, and they're independent of output. Doesn't matter how much output you produce, you're going to receive exactly same average revenue and marginal revenue, which is represented by demand faced by the firm. Now, calculating the profit. Profit is simply total revenue minus total cost. Firm's goal is to maximize profit. Okay, so when profit is negative, it means there is a loss. In that case, firm tries to minimize the losses. Now, short run profit maximization. Simple thing in the short run basically means firm is a price taker. Okay, so three questions that arises. Okay, so whether to produce or not. That means whether the firm wants to stay open or shut down. Second thing is if it wants to produce, how much it wants to produce. Third one is what is the economic profit or loss going to be in this kind of scenario. First one they have to look at is whether to produce or not. First look at the worst case scenario. If firm doesn't produce, that means output is zero. If output is zero, that means total revenue is zero. But total cost, since it's a short run, it doesn't go to zero. You still have fixed cost or total fixed cost. What happens? Profit will be negative total fixed cost. Total revenue minus total cost, negative TFC. Now, what's happening here is if you don't produce, you are making a loss of negative total fixed cost. That means when you're producing, you have to better off than that. So your profit has to be greater or equal to negative TFC. So if you're producing, total revenue minus total cost has to be greater or equal to negative TFC. What is TC? TFC minus TVC. Now you can see both sides. If I get rid of TFC, I can simply say as long as revenue covers the variable cost, firm can stay open. Otherwise, firm need to shut down. Two conditions so far. One is profit can be greater or equal to negative TFC, or total revenue has to be greater or equal to total variable cost. In other words, total fixed cost is irrelevant in the short run when firm is making choices. Now, third condition we want to look at, starting from the last one. So if I divide both of them by quantity, total revenue and total variable cost, basically you end up with total revenue over quantity is price, total variable cost over quantity is average variable cost. Now the condition here is average variable cost is U-shaped curve. Price is a constant one. If price has to be greater or equal to minimum AVC, that will satisfy the previous condition as well. So given these three, in the short run, firm should produce as long as one of these three conditions is satisfied. If one is satisfied, the other one will be satisfied. One is profit should be greater or equal to negative total fixed cost, or total revenue should be greater or equal to total variable cost, or price has to be greater or equal to minimum average variable cost. The last one we use the most. Now, after this, we need to figure it out how much to produce. That means if one of the conditions is satisfied, we need to figure it out, does it make sense to produce? And after that, how much to produce? That depends on marginal analysis. So you have to make sure marginal revenue is greater or equal to marginal cost. But this is pure competition. That means marginal revenue is equal to price. So we can write the same thing as price greater or equal to marginal cost. As long as price covers the marginal cost, you can continue to decide a quantity or increase your quantity.